Welcome back to my channel with new updates. The UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has provided fans with a major update on his recovery while issuing a chilling warning to Cyril Gane ahead of a potential rematch. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Aspinall confirmed that he is moving forward with multiple eye surgeries following the damage he sustained during their controversial first encounter. The injuries were the result of double eye pokes, which ultimately led to the fight being ruled a no contest. Aspinall revealed that his next surgical procedure is scheduled for mid-January, with his full recovery timeline extending into 2026. Before UFC 321, the build-up between Aspinall and Gane was respectful and professional. Both fighters praised each other's skill sets, and fans were eager to witness a high-level technical showdown. However, that tone changed dramatically after the fight. Aspinall has since accused Gane of deliberate fouling from the opening moments, labeling the eye pokes intentional and calling the incident outright cheating. According to Aspinall, the mutual respect that once existed between them is now completely gone. The reigning champion made it clear that if the matchup is booked again, he will not be approaching it with the same mindset. Aspinall stated that he is done being the nice guy and plans to embrace a far more aggressive mentality. He promised that when they run it back, his sole objective will be to dominate Gane and settle the score decisively inside the octagon. During the interview, Aspinall also spoke candidly about how quickly public perception can change when adversity strikes. He explained that people often turn on you when you reach the top, sometimes out of jealousy, and that even those you consider friends may publicly criticize you during difficult moments. He admitted that while he hadn't experienced much of that before, the recent situation opened his eyes and taught him valuable lessons about trust and loyalty. Despite the anger surrounding the rematch, Aspinall emphasized that his current focus is entirely on his health. He stressed the importance of taking things one step at a time, prioritizing recovery, and getting back to where he needs to be physically. While his long-term goal remains clear, returning to the octagon and finishing Gane, his immediate priority is healing, getting back into the gym, and ensuring he returns at full strength. Former UFC double champion and current analyst Daniel Cormier has revealed major changes coming to fighter pay as part of the UFC's massive new broadcast agreement with Paramount and CBS. The historic deal, valued at approximately $7.7 billion, is set to begin in 2026 and will fundamentally change how the UFC operates by eliminating traditional pay-per-view events entirely. According to Cormier, the most significant impact of the new deal will be on fighter compensation. For years, pay-per-view points served as a major financial incentive for top-tier stars. However, Cormier explained that the value of pay-per-view has steadily declined due to streaming, piracy, and market saturation. What was once considered an average number has now become a big pay-per-view, with events selling only around 500,000 to 600,000 buys. Speaking on his weighing-in podcast alongside Josh Thompson, Cormier revealed that the UFC has already begun restructuring fighter contracts in anticipation of the shift away from pay-per-view. Fighters are now negotiating deals based on guaranteed money, rather than relying on uncertain bonus structures tied to buy rates. According to Cormier, the UFC has been receptive to these changes, allowing fighters to restructure contracts with the understanding that pay-per-view revenue will no longer exist. Cormier expressed surprise at how widespread the financial improvements have been. He explained that fighters across the entire card, from early prelim competitors to main event stars, are already earning more money than they did during the so-called pay-per-view boom era. Lower card fighters, who previously struggled to earn sustainable income, are now benefiting from stronger base pay and improved contract terms. The former champion admitted that the changes are almost shocking compared to his own experience as a fighter. He recalled a time when athletes had to scrape for pay-per-view points and bonuses just to make competitive money. In contrast, fighters today are seeing improved earnings without needing blockbuster sales numbers to justify their value. Cormier emphasized that the UFC is not attempting to shortchange fighters during this transition. Instead, the organization appears committed to stabilizing income and ensuring consistent pay across the roster. He described the current shift as a rare moment where structural change is genuinely benefiting fighters at every level. In a lighter moment, Cormier also joked about the possibility of participating in a future wrestling-style match, potentially against John Jones, though he made it clear he wants no part of facing Yoel Romero who has been dominating his recent competition. Concerns are growing among MMA fans after recent training footage of Gaethje surfaced just weeks ahead of UFC 324. The lightweight contender shared behind-the-scenes clips from his training camp in the second episode of his Art of Violence YouTube series, offering fans a rare look at his preparation for one of the biggest fights of his career. While the footage was meant to showcase intensity and focus, some moments had sparked serious debate about unnecessary risk so close to fight night. Several clips immediately caught the attention of viewers, including footage of former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman catching Gaethje in a submission during training. Although such moments are common in elite-level camps, they still surprised fans given the timing of the release. However, one particular segment caused far greater concern. In the video, Gaethje is shown participating in a high-intensity, dodgeball-style conditioning drill with his teammates. The exercise begins with everyone sprinting toward the center simultaneously, quickly turning into a chaotic collision course. During one exchange, Gaethje violently clashes heads with a trained partner, creating an immediate scare for viewers watching at home. Fortunately, there were no visible signs of injury following the collision. Gaethje did not appear to suffer a cut or bleeding, which came as a major relief considering how frequently training injuries have derailed high-profile fights in recent years. Even so, the moment was enough to set off alarm bells across social media. Fans were quick to voice their concerns, urging Gaethje to scale back on risky activities and focus on staying healthy in the final stretch of camp. Many pointed out that with such a significant bout on the horizon, even a minor injury could have major consequences. The reactions highlighted a growing awareness among fans about the fine line fighter must walk between maintaining intensity and avoiding unnecessary danger. Gaethje is scheduled to face Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight title at UFC 324, which is set to be the UFC's first event of 2026. With championship stakes and massive attention surrounding the fight, expectations are at an all-time high. Supporters remain confident in Gaethje's toughness and preparation, but many hope he shifts his focus toward controlled training and recovery as fight night approaches. As UFC 324 draws closer, all eyes will remain on Gaethje's health and readiness, with fans hoping he arrives in the octagon fully intact and ready to deliver another unforgettable performance. Major developments are unfolding in the MMA world as rumors intensify around a blockbuster main event for UFC 327. Multiple sources suggest that Islam Makhachev versus former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman is being targeted to headline the April event in Dubai. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the timing and momentum behind the matchup continue to build, making it one of the most talked about potential fights in the sport. The rumor aligns closely with comments Makhachev made in late December, where he openly expressed strong interest in facing Usman. Islam described Usman as the toughest challenge available to him, and pushed back against criticism surrounding the matchup. Rather than viewing it as a shortcut or opportunistic move, Makhachev framed the fight as a true legacy-defining test. His stance gained further traction after reports emerged that he turned down a quick January title defense against Michael Morales, fueling speculation that the UFC was clearing the path for something bigger. Behind the scenes, Team Khabib is reportedly playing an active role in pushing for the fight. From their perspective, Usman's championship resume, dominance at welterweight, and global name value make him the perfect opponent to solidify Islam's legacy. A victory over a fighter of Usman's caliber would represent one of the most significant wins of Makhachev's career. Khabib Nurmagomedov himself has remained firmly in the spotlight. Recently, he was seen crossing paths with Khamzat Chimaev in what appeared to be a friendly and respectful interaction, further stirring online discussion. However, it was a separate interview that truly set the MMA community buzzing. In the interview, Khabib launched a blistering critique of the UFC, accusing the promotion of deliberately holding back Dagestani fighters. He claimed the organization has grown tired of their dominance and is actively working to slow their rise or shut the door on them entirely. According to Khabib, the UFC does not want more Dagestani athletes entering the roster because they consistently win, capture titles, and expose weaknesses across divisions. Khabib alleged that multiple undefeated Dagestani fighters have already been released and pointed to specific examples as proof. In his view, these fighters follow every rule, remain disciplined, avoid controversy, and still lose opportunities once they become too dangerous. He emphasized that this is not accidental but intentional. Khabib's message was blunt and unapologetic. The UFC, he argued, does not have a fighter problem. It has a domination problem, and Dagestani fighters are at the center of it. Merab Dvalishvili recently shared footage that has sparked concern among fans, raising questions about the toll his relentless fighting style may be taking on his body. Widely regarded as one of the toughest and most durable fighters in mixed martial art, Dvalishvili has built his reputation on pressure, cardio, and unbreakable pace. However, even elite athletes are not immune to long-term wear and tear. Following his hard-fought decision loss to Petr Yan at UFC 323 earlier this month, Dvalishvili was left visibly bruised and bloodied. Shortly after the bout, he posted an image revealing a noticeable facial scar, prompting discussion across the MMA community. While the mark itself does not appear to be a serious injury, it served as a reminder of the physical cost that accompanies constant high-level competition. Despite the damage sustained in the fight, there is little indication that Dvalishvili is slowing down. He has reportedly returned to training almost immediately, showing the same intensity that has defined his career. Recently, a video clip circulated online showing him sparring with Omar Montes, the singer known for performing Ilia Tapuria's walkout song. The footage reinforced Dvalishvili's reputation for maintaining a grueling work ethic, even in the aftermath of a tough loss. In the wake of UFC 323, many fans and analysts believe it is only a matter of time before the UFC announces a trilogy bout between Dvalishvili and Yan. Their rivalry has produced two highly competitive fights, and interest in a decisive third meeting continues to grow. Lightweight champion Islam Makhachev was asked to weigh in on Yan's victory during a recent interview. Makhachev acknowledged that the matchup was always going to be difficult, noting that Yan used the opportunity perfectly. He pointed out that Yan appeared far better prepared for the grappling exchanges this time around, crediting his improved training approach. According to Makhachev, Yan corrected the mistake he made in their first encounter and executed his game plan effectively. When asked about a potential third fight, Makhachev offered a confident assessment. He suggested that a trilogy bout could be even more favorable for Yan, given his familiarity with Dvalishvili's style. However, he cautioned that Dvalishvili can never be underestimated, describing him as a fighter who relentlessly presses forward and refuses to break. Makhachev emphasized that the key to success against Dvalishvili is not fearing his wrestling, and instead imposing one's own game, the same approach Yan used in their most recent clash. With momentum building toward a rubber match, the MMA world remains divided on how a third fight would unfold, but interest in the matchup has never been higher.